You're either 58 or close to it. You probably told yourself it's still too early to retire. I should just work one more year. There's no harm in it, right? What if I told you that's where you might be making a really big mistake?
You wake up. The alarm hasn't even gone off yet. It's 5:45 in the morning. The house is quiet. Too quiet. You hear the refrigerator hum in the kitchen down the hall. You hear the house settling. You're tired. Not the I stayed up too late watching a movie kind of tired. You're bone tired. The kind of tired that sleep doesn't fix anymore because it's not physical exhaustion. It's spiritual. It's the weight of 40 years of the same routine pushing down on your chest. You drag yourself to the bathroom. You flip the switch. The light is too bright. You look in the mirror and you see it. The gray in the beard is taken over. The skin around your eyes has started to fold over like an old map of a country that doesn't exist anymore. You wash your face, but you can't wash off the realization.
You realize you don't have to be awake right now. You've run the numbers. You know where the accounts are. You don't need the money. But in 45 minutes, you're going to get in the car, fight traffic, and sit in a box for 8 hours. Why?
We need to have a real talk about the number 58. It's not just a number on a birthday card. It's not just almost 60. It's the invisible cliff edge you're walking on right now. Most people walk right off it without looking down. Most people think retirement is a math problem. They think if the spreadsheet turns green, they win. If the portfolio hits the magic number, the confetti falls. But the spreadsheet is lying to you. The spreadsheet doesn't have a column for knees or energy or time left. There's a financial risk that your broker isn't telling you about. It has nothing to do with the S&P 500. It has nothing to do with interest rates or who's sitting in the White House. It's the risk of running out of you. You are treating your time like it's infinite and your money like it's scarce. That is backward. At 58, your money is likely stabilizing. The compounding has done its job. But your time? That asset is depreciating faster than a new car driving off the lot. See, 58 is a convergence point. It's the exact moment where your net worth finally crosses the finish line, but your body starts its betrayal. You don't feel it yet, not fully. You have a bad back now and then, maybe the knees creak when it rains, but the biological reality is coming.
You think you have time. You tell yourself, I'll work 2 more years. Just 2. Pad the nest egg. Get the boat. Upgrade the truck. Let me tell you what those 2 years actually cost you, because the price tag isn't in dollars.
You're trading the last pristine, high-energy years of your life for dollars you will never be healthy enough to spend. That's not an investment strategy. That's a bad trade. That's selling a diamond to buy a handful of gravel. Let's talk about the golden decade, between 58 and 68. That is it. That is the show. That's the window where you can still hike the trail, lift the grandkid over your head, and sit on a plane for 8 hours to see Italy without needing a chiropractor when you land. After 70, the warranty expires. The cliff drops off. Things that were easy, walking 18 holes of golf, driving 6 hours to the coast, become projects. They become logistical nightmares. But you're scared. I know you are. I can feel it. You're terrified that if you stop the paycheck, the whole house of cards falls down. You've been programmed for 40 years to accumulate. Save, save, save. Stopping that machine feels unnatural. You lie awake worrying about running out of money. It's the bag lady syndrome. Even high net worth guys get it. The irrational reptilian fear that one bad market crash will have you eating cat food under a bridge.
Here is the hard truth your financial advisor is too polite to say to your face. You are statistically more likely to die with a full bank account than you are to live long enough to spend it all. I've seen it happen. Good men, hard workers, guys who did everything right. They grind until 65 because that's the retirement age. They retire, they get the party, the cake, the gold watch. 6 months later, stroke, cancer, heart attack. And that money they saved for someday, it goes to the nursing home, or it goes to the government, or it goes to the kids who never called. The boat never hits the water. The classic car sits under the tarp. Now, let's talk about the one more year lie. This is the addiction. You tell yourself just one more year. I'll retire at 59. No, 60. You work one more year at 59. Maybe your portfolio grows 8%. Great. You have a slightly nicer pile of cash, but that same year cost you 10% of your remaining mobility. It cost you 12 months of freedom that you can never buy back, no matter how rich you get. And then there's the other fear, the one nobody talks about at the bar. You're afraid to go home. You're afraid because you haven't spent a Tuesday afternoon with your wife in 30 years. You're afraid she has her own routine, and you're just going to be in the way. You think, if I retire, I'll just drive her crazy. So you go back to work. You use the office as a shield. But that's not saving your marriage. That's delaying the work you need to do to reconnect. If you retire at 58, you have the energy to figure it out together. You can build a new life while you can still walk. If you wait until 70, you're just two roommates managing medications. And here's the kicker about your job. You think they need you. You think the place falls apart if you leave. You think, I have to finish this project. The team needs me. Buddy, listen to me. If you dropped dead at your desk today, your job opening would be posted on LinkedIn before your obituary ran in the paper. They'll replace you in a week. The machinery of the economy will keep turning. But your family, your wife, your grandkids, they can't replace you. You were betting on the wrong horse. Now, let's talk about the real demon, the silence. This is why you're still working. It's not the money, it's the question. Who am I if I'm not the boss? Who am I if I don't have a place to go? For 40 years, your last name has been your job title. You're a producer, an engineer, a director. You wear that title like armor. It tells people you matter. It tells you matter. You're terrified of becoming irrelevant. You think retirement means sitting on a bench waiting to die. You have no hobbies because work was your hobby. You have no friends, you have colleagues. And without the office, you're just a guy in a flannel shirt. That is a failure of imagination, not a financial problem. You have to kill the worker to birth the retiree. You have to be willing to be nobody for a while so you can figure out who you actually are. You need to replace the routine with purpose. And purpose doesn't mean a paycheck. It means building something, teaching someone, being a grandfather who actually knows his grandkids' favorite colors, not just the guy who sends a check on birthdays. This is the high-quality time, playing on the floor. If you wait until you're 68, you can't get down on the floor. Or if you do, you can't get back up. Do you want your grandkids to remember you as the guy who was always at the office or the guy who built the fort? I hear the excuses. I hear them every day. The market is shaky. It's an election year. What about inflation? What if taxes go up? Look, the world is always ending. There has never been a perfect time to retire in the history of economics. If you wait for the world to be safe, you'll work until you're 90. If you waited for the perfect time to have kids, you never would have had them. Same logic. You don't retire because the conditions are perfect. You retire because your plan is resilient enough to handle the chaos. That's what the savings were for. You built the bunker, now get inside it and stop standing in the rain. You spent 40 years deploying your energy to get money. You traded sweat for digits in a database. Now you have to have the guts to reverse the flow. You must deploy the money to buy back your energy. The transition is scary, I won't lie to you. The first Monday you don't go to work feels illegal. It feels like you're playing hooky. You keep checking your email. You feel guilty. But then, about 3 weeks in, you drink a coffee on the porch on a Tuesday morning. You hear the birds. You watch the sun hit the trees. And you realize nobody is coming to arrest you. You realize you're free. The regret I hear from the guys I talk to, it's never, I wish I worked longer. Never. Not once have I heard a man on his deathbed say, I wish I got that Q3 report in on time. The regret is always, I wish I had 5 more years of feeling this good. I wish I hadn't wasted my healthy knees sitting in a cubicle.
The regret only becomes visible when it's too late to fix. But maybe you're not ready to jump. I get that. So you tell yourself another lie. You say, I'll just semi-retire. I'll do some consulting, keep a foot in the door. Be careful. That's a trap. Consulting is just code for I'm too afraid to let go. You think you're going to work 10 hours a week? You won't. They'll call you on Friday at 4 p.m. They'll need you for just one meeting.
And suddenly, you're not retired. You're just an employee with no benefits. If you're going to leave, leave. Don't haunt the hallways like a ghost. Let's do a health audit, real quick, right now. At 58, you could probably touch your toes. You could probably run a mile if you had to. Fast forward 10 years, statistically, 1 in 3 of you will have a major chronic condition. Heart disease, diabetes, arthritis. That's not pessimism. That's just the warranty on the human machine. Think about it in terms of summers. If you're 58 and you stay healthy until 70, you have 12 good summers left. 12. That's it. If you work 3 more years, you're taking 25% of your remaining good summers and throwing them in the trash. For what? To upgrade the trim package on your Ford F-150? The currency of retirement isn't dollars, it's memories, and memories require mobility. You can't make a memory of climbing a mountain if you can't climb the mountain. You need a permission slip? Is that what you're waiting for? You want someone to tell you it's okay to stop grinding? Here it is. I'm signing it for you. You have done enough. You have saved enough. You are enough without the job. The company will survive without you. The stock market will go up and down without you.
But your life is happening right now while you're staring at this screen. The clock isn't ticking up, it's ticking down. Money can wait. The market will always be there. Your knees won't. Your energy won't. If you don't know if you have enough cash, get a plan. Talk to a professional. But don't use I don't know as an excuse to stay in the cage.
The door is open. It's been open the whole time. You just have to walk out.
I'm going for a walk. I'm going to watch the game. I'm going to do whatever the hell I want. You should join me. See you out here.